Okay, I think it's recording now. I don't want to keep making videos about down days, but I do want to make videos. One and two, I want to make videos where I have overcome. And today was definitely a hard day. Um, Woke up normally. Like I woke up, it was a little bit of struggle. Me and little man got up, and when I went into his room, I realized it was weird that his TV was still on. Like it was turning off, but like it's what at this point, 7 o'clock in the morning, it shouldn't be turning off. It should have been off for the past 9 hours, 8 hours. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. That TV's turning off now. And then he rolls over because, like, I'm telling him to wake up. He's like, oh, I'm trying to find another comfortable spot. And I see the remote control. Now, for those who do not know, my routine at night is I let him watch about half an hour of TV, but last night I let him watch an hour because um, how to explain this without going deep into a story and get more confused. Well, let's just say I gave him an hour rather than half an hour. There is a reason. The reason makes sense. Trust me, but I gave him an hour. So I give him an hour of TV, and what I do is whenever I give him TV before bedtime, I set a timer, and he picks something on YouTube that he wants to watch. And whenever the timer runs up, the TV shuts off. So whenever the TV goes off, that's it. Like the lights are already off by that point. He should be like, okay, that was your wind down. That's it. Um, so to find out that like he still had the TV kind of on was questioning, but then find out that so obviously he doesn't have the remote control in his room whenever I set up the timer because otherwise I tried this before. I'm gonna trust him about the remote control in your room, dumb thing, but like I still have to test that out with him. I still have to be able to see what I can and cannot trust him with. So I did leave it in his room one time, but I didn't do it last night. Last night I took it with me to my bedroom, the bedroom I share with my fiance. So to find that the remote control is underneath him, I'm like, okay, I know I didn't do that. I know she didn't do that. So I'm like, okay. So he goes use the bathroom, comes back. I'm like, all right, buddy, why was the remote control here? Why was the TV on? What's going on? And after a little bit of coaxing, found out that he snuck into our room in the middle of the night to gather the control so we can watch TV. And I'm like, buddy, that's not good. That's stealing again, which if you see my last video, you know that this is becoming a theme. And I'm not a fan of this theme. um, I'm like, yo, man, and I'm paraphrasing and I'm changing. Like, obviously, I wasn't harsh, but I was definitely trying to be stern. I was like, yeah, this is the third time I told you punishment. And then he does this whole routine of crying, hard crying, I guess is what I'm calling it right now. Hard crying, hyperventilating, and he's starting to do this clenched fisting thing. I'm like, oh, are you angry that you got caught? Because you weren't angry that you did it. You were fine that you did something bad. You are hurt, crying, and playing this particular game because you got caught. And then he just shuts down. Any words that come out of him, oh. So like, and keep in mind, we're supposed to be getting ready for school. We're supposed to be getting dressed up, eating breakfast, and going down to the bus stop and waiting for the bus to show up. And the whole routine that we've been doing every morning. But instead, here I am. I'm trying to have them understand: one, stealing is bad. Two, crying because you got caught is not a good thing. You don't. If you feel so bad about being caught, don't do the thing that's bad to begin with. Um, his bus comes around, let's say 8:20, 8:30. By 8:40 I was still trying to get him to talk, to get him to open up, because at this point every time I'm like, okay, well, we need to go to the next step. All right, what's your next step? And he would either be petrified and not know what to do. And keep in mind, the next step is literally put on your jacket and then put on your backpack, which is both in his room within eyesight between me and him. So he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, buddy. And I'm trying not to be frustrated. I am trying not to be frustrated because we're a regular human being, adult human being. Let me phrase that. Another adult can get angry at that, but with a little person such as a child, you cannot get angry about that. So it's like, okay, buddy, we need to move to the next step, and then once again regress further. So it took a while for me to kind of not change. And anybody that knows me knows that I try to avoid that in situations that I feel that I can handle, and I want to be able to handle this. So it gets to the point where all right, let's sit down, let's talk. Um, he sits on his bed, I sit on his chair, and I'm like, all right, so what's going on that like you really felt you needed to sneak into my bedroom to take this remote control, and now how is that affecting you right now from preventing you from going to school? He's like, I don't want to go to school no more. I'm like, all right, well, every kid says that. I didn't say that, but like, thinking to myself, well, yeah, every kid says that. Every kid says that they don't want to go to school. So it was like, okay, you don't want to go to school. Why? Oh, because I'm so, I, how did he say it? Like, he felt so far behind. And he's not behind. He is, he just came into a brand new school in November. The plan was January, but things kicked the plan up, and that's fine. He's not behind. I looked at his grades so far. Like all the teachers, were like, yeah, he's doing amazing. He's doing great. He is showing me new things. I'm like, even when we did math the other day, he's doing really good with the concept. He's doing really well. But I think it's the idea, not that he's behind, but he feels disjointed, disconnected, distant from everybody else. Because everybody else has had since school started until now, and he just has right now. So that's a new thing for him to adapt to. But once again, recent communication with his teachers, like, oh yeah, you're doing pretty well. So, um, there is a whole. My brain at this point is kind of like, okay, maybe he doesn't mean that. He's trying to just say things so that he doesn't get to go to school covered in tears, snot, and like disappointment and guilt, which I totally understand. But he still needs to go to school. So, I we talk some more, and he goes, he really misses his mom, and as much as that broke my heart, it also tremendously saddened me. And it was hard to kind of like brush that off my shoulders. Kind of like, all right, just let that be water on a duck's back kind of thing. And it was not easy hearing that. Not the fact that he misses his mom, the next line. Because this is like the second or third time he's like, he misses his mom, which is understandable. The next line is what really hit me hard. And sorry, thinking about the first line made me think about the second line. The second line is, I wish I just was home. And that is always hard for me. I know this is a hard transition for him. Like, I know that. And not just me, but me and Donna and even Bella are trying to bend ourselves backwards to make him feel as comfortable as possible. And I don't say that as like, oh, he should be grateful. I'm saying that we do care, we do want him here. So to us, is like, oh yeah, all that stuff doesn't matter, and to a kid it doesn't. But it did her hearing it. So I'm like, okay, water back, we pull, get back into it. So I'm like, all right. Um, I get that, but right now, right here, this is where you are, buddy. You gotta make the best of it. And once again, I'm talking to him like I would another adult, which happens to sometimes be the issue, and I will get to that. Um, we talked a little bit more. He calmed down. I'm like, all right, you're calmed down. You're going to school because it's something that you have to do, and I have a whole full day of other things I need to take care of today. Um, so I'm like, all right, get yourself ready for school. I had to hand him his jacket and backpack. Um, I step out the door and I talk to Donna about what went down quickly because I'm also getting ready to go out the door too with him because I need to take him to school at this point. And she's like, Bella told me um, before she left that Xavier came into her bedroom last night and turned off her TV because she's also on that whole schedule thing where the sleeper set in so that she can actually sleep like ocean sounds, cricket sounds, nighttime sounds, that kind of stuff. And it helps her kind of fall asleep by herself. And he just went in there while she was wide awake and was like, nope, and turned it off and walked out. And Bella, being Bella, didn't want to say nothing. And I'm like, I am not okay with that. I'm not okay with him doing that. And he hadn't mentioned anything like that. So I go back in there. I'm like, hey, buddy, is there anything else you need to tell me? And he's looking like, no, no, not really. I'm like, okay. I'm like, buddy, try really hard to tell me something that you haven't told me yet. And he goes, well, I kind of wanted to see what Bella was doing in her room last night. I'm like, okay, okay, we're stepping in the right direction. What happened? Oh, nothing. Okay, oh, you didn't touch the TV? No. Okay, okay, we're gonna try that again. Did you touch the TV? Yeah. Why did you touch the TV? Because it was on. Did anybody tell you to touch it? No. Why did you touch it? Because it was on. I'm like, did you touch it because it was on? He's playing in the next room. Did you touch it because it was on and you were mad because yours was off? Because even though he got an hour, she was in the tub. I I guess I had to have said that earlier. But yeah, which is why he got an hour rather than 30 minutes, and she had 30 minutes too. He's playing Roblox, which I probably need to find a way to monitor that more closely anyway. But obviously she wasn't there anymore to apologize for that. I'm like, right now, like the heavy hour and a half conversation that we just had of him going through his shutdown withdrawal sessions where we had to move forward. So I joined the school, and um, while we were at the front desk, I was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to, find your glasses." And one of the secretaries overheard us and like, "Oh yeah, we have a lost and found. You want to check that out?" Looking lost and found. First thing he saw, his glasses. First thing, we've been looking for this thing for a week, a week, and he was like, "I swear I brought them home from school." Nope. Okay, here we are. Um, so he eventually goes um to class, and I asked if I could see his support instructor. And we end up, and this is my first time meeting this woman. This is my first time doing this. I still have the paperwork here. Um, it's not something as simple as signing. Is a whole process that you have to read through. Okay, and I want to be involved in it, and it's been taking me some time to get through it. Um, but luckily, I gave myself into next week to be able to finish going through the entire thing, being able to have my own thoughts and process about the whole thing. But this is my first time actually meeting the woman face to face, and we had virtually another hour and a half conversation of me opening up about everything that's been going on, and it helped. It helped. It really did help me give me insights about things I need to change, need to work on, and mainly that I can't talk to my son like not like a full grown adult. Like it's not like I'm like ooh, but at the same time I'm assuming that he's able to make connections, but he can't. Even though he's a very intelligent individual, he can't make those kind of connections. My goodness, he's having fun in the other room. Um, so learning that I my position right now, even though we've been in communication constantly for years, it's been broken like contact. Not like there's a break, but the fact that like um it was video calls that I wanted to be for 6 months, but ended up being for like 2 3 years, and then rather than having full on supervised visitation, I wanted to do sessions where um, I not only bond with him, but I understand his diagnosis. I understand his mental health and his mental state, and like how to better bond with that. And I didn't want to focus on it's supervised visitation because I wanted it to be a little bit more structured, a little more educational, and a little more beneficial. So it was with a an organization that specializes with kids with special needs, and it helped me understand him a little bit more. But once again, that is still not me being there all the time, and I always wanted to be there. And now that I'm here, I'm like, I am grossly underprepared, and I have no one else to blame for that. I have no one to blame for that. And even if it was in my life, I probably would still be having this issues. It's different now that it's like, okay, here's a crash course of 8 years missing. Do your best. Good luck. Don't screw it up. And it's very frustrating. Ended up running a couple errands. Um, I ended up talking to a man very close to me who I call Granddad. And he's telling me everything that's going on with his life, which kind of slightly crosses over into mine. And he was telling me that, and I was telling him about my day and everything, and he was like, "Look, don't let what the kids say get you all twisted." And I'm paraphrasing. Please understand that too. He's like, sometimes kids do that. His kids did that. His kids were like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna spend the weekend with mom," and he's like, "Okay, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do." And then after a while, like, okay, you can't jump back and forth. You can't jump back and forth. You gotta make a decision, regardless of what decision you make. That's gonna be your decision kind of thing. But you can't just come back and forth just because you don't like this particular rule on this particular day, or you don't like the fact that someone's actually on your ass caring about what's going on with your life. You can be like, well, Dad doesn't listen. Dad doesn't ask me 20 million questions. Like, okay, well, that's him. This is me. This is my house. So like and once again, that was an example. Not saying that anybody not saying that he said that. Not saying that I said that. That was an example random out there. I'm sorry if I talk fast. I'm trying to talk quickly, not to bore you guys. One and two, trying to be able to get to him because he's laughing his head off about whatever is happening over there. Um, but yeah, he gave me good advice on that. Like the idea, like, hey, don't let it get to you. Kids will say whatever to get what they want at the time because all they see is at the time. Do your best every day, not just once a week, not just twice a week, not even 5 times a week. You gotta do your best every day. And I knew that. Like, it's weird when you know something when someone else says it. Like, you're right. Like that. Like it wasn't like an epiphany, but it was like one of those like wake up calls. And, wake up and do this. So I'm like, okay, yeah. Yeah. It's an everyday thing. So tomorrow might be another issue. I need to prepare myself. And I laugh because this is what I wanted. It's not, but it is what I wanted. So yeah, there's that. Um, I also talked. Trying to figure out words, terms, and names for people when I talk about them on an online forum like this. So let me say that the woman that birthed this body in front of you, um, talked to her for a little bit today, and she gave me a certain kind of insight that kind of made me kind of go, "This is my own fault." The way that he is almost not a mirror image of a younger version of me, but like pretty damn close. And it's like, well, that's all. Even today, when he came home and we were folding his clothes that we all washed today, which was $20. Well, all right, the whole washing process was $20, not just his clothes, but still. We were folding his clothes, putting them back away in the proper location, and he was like, something was said, and he was like, "Yeah, it's in the jeans." I'm like, "What do you mean? You like what you holding up?" Because he was folding jeans at the time. He's like, "No, because you're my dad." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I am. I guess. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I'm your dad." It's just how that is, and it's moments like that that makes me kind of go. That makes me fully realize what I've been missing for the last 8 years. The woman who gave birth to this amazing body before you, that definitely needs a shave, as you can see here. Um, she was like, "You got to be patient. You got to be patient. You got to be able to talk on his level. You gotta let him talk. Not only just talk to him on his level, you have to let him talk. And more importantly, every day you gotta tell him that you love him, because one of the things that he did mention today is like, you don't love me, Dad. I'm like, buddy, everything I do out of love for you. Everything I do. Everything I do that isn't even related to you is somehow related to you. And that's because I love you. It's like, but you don't tell me that. Heartbreak number two. And I'm like, I tell you that every night. Every night and every morning, and every time you do something that shines you. Every time. Like, even now, freaking, I'm hearing him. I'm amazed he's able to breathe. He's laughing so hard over there, and I want to like bang on the wall and tell him I love him. But I will whenever I tell him that he needs to go to bed. But I think it's one of those things that you have to constantly nail that in. It's not just something that is seen through actions, roof over the head, clothes in the back, the things that we do, food in your belly, uh, water in the sink, that kind of stuff. With kids, it has to be a constant. And with me, for years, especially after the incident, I didn't cry. Like, for me to say the L word took a lot. First of all, for me to show affection to other people took a lot. He is. He's breathing. He's breathing. He's good. But yeah, like, it's been a change. And even though I do all these things for him and I do tell him I love him, it needs to be a lot regular. I guess I think he just cussed. I need to go parent. But yeah, it was a hard day today. A lot of harsh words were said by a child who will not remember or care or recall or give a damn. But I will have this now immortalized on YouTube forever. I need to go be a parent. I'm not sure where he's picking up these languages, but or his behavior, the stealing, the lying, the doing as he feels to be fit until he gets caught, and then he just crumbles. I don't know where he really necessarily gets that from. And there's a part of me that wants to break that, but at the same time, I do not think that it's possible to break that with harshness. Hell, I can't break that with the usual me that has grown to be the person that's gotten me to where I am today. Granted, in the laundry room currently, but that's a work in progress. Don't mind that. But I mean more the idea of that harshness got me to where, like, that pushed me forward all the time. But now I need to switch that off and switch on a nicer side that isn't a pushover. And that's what I've been trying to put away for years. So, like the instructor told me this morning when I dropped the Xavier off, it's gonna be a change. But she has faith in me. I don't know why everybody has faith in me. I don't. I struggle to have faith in me, but you all seem to have faith in me, and I thank you all for that. With that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna discipline my son for cussing, and then I am gonna send his happy ass to bed. Thank you guys for listening to me rant and rant and what have you. And I hope you guys I want to learn something. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you want to vent and yell at me about I should have done it this way, I should have done it that way, yada yada yada. Whatever way, do whatever you feel makes you feel happy at the end of the day, and I will do whatever I feel is best. So try to leave good advice, so that I have something to listen to, all right, or something to read rather. You guys take care. Have a good night, and son, happy ass bed.